Hello then, folks. We are back for more Glory Hunter, but the question is, which team? Still Newcastle, obviously. City and PSG were not interested. Yeah, I was heartbroken. Yeah, because, do you know what? I just saw them as good family clubs that, whatever. Actually, City are kind of that, but they've got loads of money. Have we seen what they've done for the surrounding area? Exactly. Now, what's really obvious about Newcastle right now is for all the money that we're likely to spend, you can see there, our reputation, of course, is pretty decent at this stage, and the training facilities, youth facilities, and youth recruitment is not very good. But the one big thing you can see on this screen that is what we weren't expecting necessarily, but because of the change in format, we're not in the Europa League anymore, which is gutting. We're straight into the Champions League. So, oh God. Of course, they've changed it now to a league stage. I don't know at what point we go into this. Are we straight in at the league phase side of this? We are straight in at the league phase. So we are already into the Champions League stage. Well, we do have to win it, so it's fine. Obviously, no way to drop into the Europa League. And I'll be honest, I would have rather been Newcastle in the Europa League than Newcastle in the Champions League, because I actually think we probably could have won that one. And look, we've already ticked off one European trophy. So time for another one? Fine. Champions League, bring it on. And we're in a transfer window, so I've been a little busy. And today's episode, we're going to talk through the plans for the transfer window, as well as some of the stuff we've already done. So let's introduce you to a few new signings. And when I say a few, I mean one. Mackenz Lacroix joins us from Wolfsburg. You've all signed him because he's fast and big. So, yeah, 6'3", and yeah, very, very quick. And a pretty good value for money when you're buying a player like this. £115,000 a week, 46.5 million. I still think that's a pretty good outlay for us. And team-wise, it sort of leaves us looking like this. I feel as if we're lacking... this is the debate, viewers, and I'm pleased you're a part of this. By the way, lots of you thought that if we could have moved to City or PSG, that would have been good. We can't. So what we're going to have to do, viewers, is create City or PSG here. Yes. And by that, I mean buy the big players that are good. Yes. So left back, still an issue of concern for me. Matt Targett, Jamal Lewis. I think Jamal Lewis is probably going to leave the club in this summer window, and Matt Targett will be the backup to our new left back that's coming in. We'll reveal that in today's episode. We'll keep a little bit of mystery to it all, viewers. Why not? And in central midfield wise, I like Bruno Guimaraes, and I like the fact he can play both centrally and defensively, but he's probably the odd man out in this, purely because McAllister's form last year. How can I drop a man who's putting in such good performances, and I can't drop his corners? So he has to stay in the side for me. Again, 21 goals, 22 assists at all comp last season. Anything like that again, and we're living the dream. So even though maybe the star rating, which a lot of people pay attention to, maybe suggest that Bruno Guimaraes is the better option, I'm actually not on board with that. I think McAllister to continue in there. Dybala on the right-hand side, actually found a lot of consistency with Dybala, a player that obviously is maligned for injuries and stuff. Actually was pretty good for us on that side, gave us a nice balance. And Mudryk on the other side, decent season. We can get far more out of him. The second half of the season, he sort of fell off a little bit. So, yeah, we need a bit more. Danjuma, I think, is probably going to leave out on the left-hand side. It's sort of, again, it's between him and St. Maximin, who leaves the club at this point. It's got to be one of them. And up front, we've got Mitrovic, of course, who last season was really good. Lots of goals, 7.28 as well, suggests performances have been good. And Isaac is sort of the perfect other option up front too, because they're quite different stylistically. If a big bid came in for him, I probably would sell him, is the reality, and go and get someone like Karim Adeyemi as sort of the straight replacement for a player like him, and also a player that we could probably go and get. So these two positions are positions that definitely need to be filled. Right back I'm pretty happy with. Goalkeeper I'm pretty happy with. Again, these additions happened not that long ago. We don't need to recycle stuff too much, but we definitely need a better central midfield option than Thomas Lemar, Joe Willock or Joel Linton. Again, two of those, maybe Thomas Lemar to definitely leave. Longstaff might go as well. We've got to try and re-energise that midfield and make us into a real good, like now, Champions League squad. And because we're going into the Champions League, the ability, or the players that we can attract, actually I should say, is far better, far greater. And you'll see that from the players I'm going for. One of them, in fact, neither of them are that surprising. If I said, who do you think I'm going for in these roles, you could probably have you've played Football Manager, you could probably have a pretty good guess. Yeah, so let's continue and see if they sign. I hope they do. It'd be interesting to see where our new additions will potentially put us in the odds for the league title, because that is still something I would quite like to achieve. Yes, Liverpool are very good, City are very good, but we're not that far away now. We've leapfrogged Arsenal and Tottenham. We're fifth favourites. I mean, the additions I'm set to make, it could be quite exciting. I should note as well that Sven Botman has left the club at the tender age of 24. Just hasn't got the physicality, I think, for the Premier League, and that's going to be his problem and his downfall. In the appearances he made for me last year, it was never very good. So 23.5 million, it's a loss, but when you're Newcastle, there's no such thing. So see you later, Sven. Chris Wood has also left us as well in this summer window, and a couple of players have left on freeze. And when I say freeze, they've just gone. Jeff Hendricks, one of those. Kieran Trippier, of course, who was pretty good for us, actually. That first season we had with him, yeah, pretty decent, but now has gone. And it does mean we're going to bring in a right back up to Baku. That's a sentence. And Callum Wilson has gone as well. Decent English striker. I feel a bit indifferent to that one. Again, he's a good third choice, but we're probably going to bring in someone slightly better than Callum Wilson as that third choice. I'm debating Calvert-Lewin, so we'll see how that goes. 46 million for Calvert-Lewin. Is that worth it? I hope that's worth it. So do you reckon your guesses for my left back as central midfielder are good? I reckon you've got it. And let's not waste any more time. It's £99 million on getting the best English player around, in my opinion. It's Jude Bellingham. Welcome to Newcastle. This, I think, indicates, viewers, that we mean business. And you know that thing I've been saying about we're going to build Newcastle up to a point where they become a real problem in the future? This is that point right now. He's phenomenal. And attribute-wise, player-wise, he's only 21. I mean, we talk about upgrades on the midfield. Jude Bellingham, everybody. How can I not go? If he's there and available, I would be stupid not to go and get him. So I've gone and got him. So I accept. Jude Bellingham, welcome to Newcastle. Of course, fans of Manchester City, Real Madrid and Liverpool will be furious, but fans of the Toon Army, I suspect, will be very, very happy. And yeah, we've now got ourselves a world-class player. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at this. I mean, will he sell more shirts than Dybala? I suspect he probably will. And how exciting, man. We've got Jude in the team. I mean, this is going to be it's a massive upgrade on what we've got right now. And we look at this system now then. Jude Bellingham comes in. Playmaker, I mean, 17 passing, division's pretty good, work rate, dribbling ability, that ability to just be getting forward and involved in things. Him, Rice, McAllister, Guimaraes, that's just a 4 now. Really, really does excite me. So, yeah, and the best thing about Jude as well, he's another one of these players that naturally can play in the deeper role if required, so it gives us really good versatility. I now have 4 players that can all do that. Like Jude Bellingham, well, yes, he's Jude Bellingham. That was important to me. In a system that he has 3 of these central midfielders, what I really, really wanted was this idea that they could actually just be interchangeable at any point during any game if I feel like we need to change the balance a little bit. Like if I need to move Jude over to the other side and have him drive forward, then we can do that. Keep McAllister on the pitch. They're all quite similar stylistically. They're all combative. They're all creative. It's the perfect 4 is how I would look at it. So really, really happy with our midfield balance. Again, I feel a bit for players like Joe Linton, who I'm going to offer out now, and just hope that a bid comes in. And I think probably, again, Thomas Lemar, I'm trying to get somebody interested. There are clubs definitely curious in regards to a transfer for him. The same goes for Danjuma. I just, again, getting a little bit of money back through the door. I can recycle it. Maybe there's some free transfers out there. In fact, one of my right back backups is a free transfer, as Brighton have come in for Thomas Lemar. Now, we didn't spend very much on him. 20 million, Brighton? That is stingy from Brighton. In which case, I'll take the 17.5. But they're straight back in. I'm going to be cheap. 18 million? How about that? 18 million, done. Okay, so we spent on Thomas Lemar, if you remember, a few seasons ago, 4.6 million. Good stopgap player, can play again in lots of those forward areas. We probably have to now bring in a player similar to that, but it makes sense. He wants a payoff to talk to Brighton. That's fine. Elsewhere, we've also offered Declan Rice a new contract as well. Having 2 really good core English players to be here for a long, long time, obviously for Newcastle, will be really, really helpful. We've lost a couple of Englishmen, of course, in Trippier and Wilson. So, yeah, having those 2, really important. It means the likes of Nick Pope, I don't really want to lose them. Someone like Sean Longstaff, because he was a Geordie born and bred, I can't really move him on. And bringing players through is also important too. So someone like Elliot Anderson, like I'm not going to let him go. I need him for registration. I have to be really, really careful with when I'm bringing in all these new players that actually we focus on the fact that we can't do anything too silly. And is that my left back over there? 29 years of age. It's a lot of money for a 29-year-old. 22 million out of the current budget, rising though to 49. And yeah, £275,000 a week is a lot of money. But frankly, we have the budget for it. So why not? We liked him last season. He was decent when he came in. I think having him here full-time, permanently, is a big plus for us. I looked at the other left-backs that were available to us, and to be honest, there weren't any better than him. So that's what we've gone for. Ferland Mendy to join us on a full-time basis then, and him and Jude Bellingham are now making this side look not that fun. I've really taken some time to this press conference. I am just clicking positive over and over again. We really are now looking at taking this team to another level as far as I'm concerned. Like, again, we're going to slot Mendy in to this 11. It's getting closer to title contenders. Obviously, we have to be careful of how many years we're going to spend here. This is year 3 now, but you can already see this is the 11. The connection between Mendy and Mudryk doesn't have to now be built. It's already there. Baku with Dybala have one on the other side. And I don't think it'll take Jude Bellingham long to integrate himself. But of course, you slot Kamara's in there. Everyone's loving it. But I don't think Bellingham will take too long. Obviously, the partnership between Torres and Lacroix needs to be solved as well. Lacroix's height and aerial presence and ability in the penalty area could prove to be helpful too, especially defensively, but also offensively. The idea that Pau Torres is going to have a season quite like last year with so many goals feels unlikely, but you never know. They are very similar defenders in that sense, both 6'3", but natural on their sides. I'm really happy with the squad that we've built. Yes, when you've got unlimited money, it's quite easy to do. You do still have to make smart choices, and I think stylistically, as I've sort of talked about across the team, we've done a good job of that. So the early sort of planning stages of this transfer window, knowing that I still have 60 million left to spend, and we know there's going to be some outgoings, it makes things interesting. Other players we looked at, Caicedo is currently listed by Brighton. It was sort of a toss-up between the likes of him or Bellingham, but I think offensively Bellingham just offers that little bit more. Again, mental attributes as well. Bellingham's got him all over the place. If we were to sell someone like Gamara's at this point, Caicedo would be the guy we'd go for, but there isn't any interest, so doesn't seem overly likely. I've also been taking a look at all the strikers that are on offer, especially English. Again, thinking about that quota. It might be trying to try to be worth getting Shola Amiobi out of retirement. He does work for me as staff, but getting someone maybe that Newcastle have had on the books before back. In fact, am I right? I might be completely wrong on this. Adam Armstrong is quite a fast striker, right? Did he start at Newcastle? See, he's the sort of person that would be quite good in terms of the fact that I think we'd get a little bit of homegrown from him in the early stages, so maybe something to consider in our push for these Champions League registration places. So things to figure out. Again, someone like Calvert-Lewin is interesting to me. Ivan Toney, I know went to Newcastle, but from Northampton, or was it? Yeah, Northampton early on. So I don't think he'd qualify, but also would cost me an arm and a leg. Rejected PSG to go to Arsenal, and then had a decent season. So yeah, something to consider there. Any Newcastle players in the past that you think would be good to get, do let me know, because it could be worth bringing them back to the club just to help me in Champions League registration. But the squad now, if we could sort it by position, you can get a slightly better look at it then. I think we're in a pretty good spot. Like, yes, there's some areas where we probably need to improve still. Right back, in fact, I'll spoil it now because the two big ones are in. Thomas Meunier to come in as the backup right back. Again, seems like a really perfect choice for us in terms of a backup. Still got those physicality, or those attributes of physicality, which Trippier has kind of lost now. Meunier is on the same path, the same trajectory as Trippier was, but he's still got a little bit about him. Retrospectively, we probably could have kept Trippier, but again, if there's someone out there to get on a free, it's not going to cost me a lot of money. He seems like a pretty good candidate for that. Was playing less and less for Dortmund. I think coming in as a backup for us is just fine, really. And yeah, I'm really happy with the balance of the squad. A few players left to leave. Where do you think we could improve? I hate to say this. I think I've done a pretty good job. I think when you look at this team, the obvious person feels like Mitrovic, because it's like, is he truly going to push you to a title? And that's the thing I don't really know. Like, Irish performance is a bit hit and miss at times. 36 goals in 44 last year. We probably have to give him the chance. And if it's not working out, having Isaac in reserve, again, is a pretty good option for us. But I think we've done a pretty good job. I am also curious to see. We should probably get some more scouts in. I'm looking at that there. But when you've got me making transfers, when I'm in charge, do you really need scouts?
Get the scouts now. Get the scouts.
Okay.
Get the scouts. Stop messing about.
So yeah, maybe we should get some more scouts, I guess. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
So there we go. Got a few transfers over the line live for you. These videos are always quite difficult to put together because of the time frame of how you're trying to do stuff, but we managed to capture the signings of Mendy and Bellingham back to back, which is really, really nice. And Leeds have come in for Nick Pope. So also Mendy apparently going to be quite high in the shirt sales. We got the same message for Bellingham, so that's obviously good. Nick Pope, that's a lot of money for a 30. Well, he's only 32 and he is quite good. I mean, 20 million Leeds? Would you do? Well, I think you would do 20 million if I remove this. 20 million? Would you do? Hang on, not 15. 20 million? Thoughts? That's pretty good. All right, we probably need a backup English goalkeeper as well, but I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. All right then, team, let me know your thoughts on all the action we've done so far, and is it all a little bit too competent? But yeah, we're building Newcastle, and the story of Newcastle is driving us forward. In terms of other jobs that came up after the City and PSG stuff, I'm sure people would be interested. Nothing. So I'd love to tell you that, oh yeah, we could have gone for this one, but no, it didn't happen. In fact, I don't even know who they hired. City went for Vincent Kompany, and Paris Saint-Germain went for Lucien Favre, which, I mean, bit annoying actually, but oh well. They've signed Frank Kessie in the window and sold Renato Sanchez. And, Wijnaldum's left as well. It's always great when you go over to Europe and suddenly everything is going to have changed, so I'm excited for that. But that concludes today. Then if you enjoyed it, of course, do leave a like on the video. It does help a lot. And I will see you later this week with some more. I'm moving house this week, like properly actually moving house. You can't see them, but there is just, I can see 9 boxes. So bye viewers. See you soon.